Hi, everybody. So, in this video, I wanted to go through all of the financial people that I follow in hopes that it inspires you to check out some of these folks and do some diving into their podcasts or books or whatever they may have. And you can start your financial journey not just from me, but with these other folks that have inspired me. Now, this first one is Peter Schiff. He's the very first person that I found when I decided in 2013 that I wanted to learn more about money. I read his book called The Real Crash. I invested in his company initially when he had a company in Canada and I was living up there, but then that company moved. So I moved on and started investing myself anyway. But he's got a website called Schiff Gold as well, where he sells gold. I've never bought from here, but something to check out. He does have a podcast that I follow regularly, so check that out on Apple or on YouTube. It's on YouTube channel as well. Thomas Sowell is another person that explains how an economy works and how it should work. He's got some great quotes that I love to follow, that there are no certainties, there are only probabilities. He's also got a great quote that is, there are no solutions, there are only trade-offs. So when everybody thinks there's these absolute things that we should be doing, it's really, you're going to be trading off something to get that other thing. So you have to try to balance that out. So I love these quotes that he has, but great economist. You've got to follow Thomas Sowell. Great thinker. Nomi Prinz, she worked at Goldman Sachs, so she had a front seat in the financial world. She is now speaking out against how things are, especially the Federal Reserve, because she used to work with all that dark money that she calls it. She's got several books out, and this most recent one is called Distortion, which I haven't read, but I love following her on different podcasts and different YouTube appearances. So another great person to follow. Robert Kiyosaki, which is famous for his Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. Several other books that he's written, like the Cash Flow Quadrant. I have followed every one of his podcasts, YouTube appearances. When I read his book in 2019, it just completely shifted my mindset on what I should be doing and really is the basis for a lot of what I do. I've also purchased his board game, and me and my son have played his board game a lot. We also play it online against each other in my community, my Money Act community. And I've also taken his real estate course, which is what really helped me figure out what I need to be looking for in real estate, which I also teach in his way, but also in a different way that I think helps busy professionals find rental properties. But another great one, if you haven't read his book, you got to read it and follow him on podcasts or YouTube. George Gammon is somebody that I follow regularly these days because he speaks in macro. He has a really good sense of how the system currently works, not how it should work, but how it currently works. And he's got some great whiteboard videos that he does, I think, about once a week. He does like 3 daily YouTube videos just on what's happening in the news. So definitely somebody you should check out on YouTube or just go straight to his website here. He's also partnered with Lynn Alden in his Rebel Capitalist Pro. And she is another great person to follow on either her website or on YouTube in various appearances that she does. She is a great mind to follow, somebody who really does and understands that macroeconomic level. Mike Maloney is somebody that I have bought gold from in the past. He has a whole bunch of different options to purchase gold or silver, and he's got a great YouTube channel and definitely a series of documentaries that you have to watch. He invested millions into these documentaries, so they're really high quality, really well done, and they will give you an exact understanding of where we've been in the past of monetary history and bring you up to current date, where we are and probably where we're headed. So definitely somebody to check out there. Stephanie Pompoy is somebody that I follow on social media. She's got a lot of great insights on the market as it currently stands and where she thinks things are going. So somebody definitely to follow there, as well as various YouTube appearances that she does. Jim Rickards is another person that completely changed my mindset. I found his book. He had a book that was released in 2010. I don't think I found it until 2014, called Currency Wars. That was his first book. He's written several other books that I've also read. I'm a strategic intelligence lifetime member of his, that I follow his advice and his commentary on what's happening in the world. And he is pretty much done almost everything imaginable in the financial world. He started off as a lawyer, a financial lawyer, did organize the bailout of 1998 long-term capital management, and that was a series of bank defaults, or hedge fund defaults rather, that ended up hitting from Russia all the way to long-term capital management. And he talks about that and how he organized the bailout. Then he moved into a role with the CIA doing financial war games. And during that, he found that basically his prediction that he made with them was that China and Russia were going to create a gold-backed currency to challenge the US dollar as the reserve currency. And he says something like, there's this guy in the room once they won the game, when he partnered with whoever was playing, Russia or China. One of them was Russia, one of them was China, and they partnered together to do this. And they won the financial war game. And ultimately, sort of in the debrief, or the briefing afterwards, they had this guy like pounding the table that the US dollar is the reserve currency and will always be the reserve currency. And he said he felt like it was almost like going back in time, where somebody was pounding the table saying the pound sterling is the reserve currency of the world and will always be the reserve currency of the world, only for 30 years later, the US takes it over. And so what we're seeing now, of course, where the BRICS countries just created a gold-linked currency, maybe the foundations of the demise of the dollar. And that would be hard to see if the government didn't stop blowing so much money that we don't have. I mean, we're 33 trillion in debt, 200 trillion in unfunded liabilities, which is like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all of these benefits that we still owe in the future. When you combine it all, it's like 200 trillion in debt. Now, every other country is in massive amounts of debt, but the U.S. is just going, it's like there is no limit. And so if it wasn't for that, I would say that seems pretty far-fetched, but, they got to stop blowing money. It's insane, So follow his books. I highly recommend. They're very entertaining because he's done these incredible things in the financial world, but with his background and then with his newsletter that he puts out, just following him on daily and weekly events really sets your mind into knowing what's happening in the world and what's really going on, not what we're told is going on with the news, but what you get these like half-truths in the news. But when you see it from this financial point of view and what's really going on, who's really behind certain things, you really get a clarity on, yes, but not really. That's kind of how it plays out. So highly recommend Jim Rickards. Probably Rich Dad's probably number one, to get your mindset changed. But then I would say he's number two. Hope this helps. I highly recommend all these people to check out and, just start on your financial journey along with me here at Money Act. And of course, here at Money Act, we make things a lot more fun and enjoyable because we do a lot of the movie linking to certain topics that these guys all talk about, and it just hopefully makes things a lot easier to follow. And of course, you can go to my website, money-act.com, where you can grab my book that I've written. You can grab it for free. Just click the link on my website. And you can also take the character quiz. There's lots of freebies, and then maybe eventually you'll decide to join one of my courses, if not the entire community, where the community that I've got growing right now is very engaged. A lot of us, throwing different ideas back and forth. So it's not just me, it's people who have taken this foundational knowledge that I provide in the courses that I give in the community that really has sparked a lot of really cool ideas and has changed actually the way that I've been teaching some things just to make them even more clear. And so I highly recommend jumping on my website too. So with that said, I'll leave you today and I'll see you next time.